You know the feeling. You're driving alone late at night. The world outside your car has shrunk to just the stretch of road illuminated by your headlights. The mile markers tick by, but it feels like you're standing still. Then, you see something up ahead, something that makes the hair on your arms stand up. Every year, thousands of 911 calls are placed from the darkest, most isolated highways in the country. Most are what you'd expect: breakdowns, fender benders. But some calls are for things that are much harder to explain. The story you're about to hear is inspired by the kind of chillingly real events found in police reports from across the country. We all think of the open road as freedom, but for some it becomes a trap. Imagine a 911 call from a desolate stretch of highway, miles from anything. The driver's voice is tight with panic, barely a whisper. They're reporting a man who seemed to materialize out of the darkness and forced his way into their car. He has a knife. In the background of a call like that, you can sometimes hear the chaos. A muffled struggle, the roar of the engine as the driver floors it, trying to escape a threat that's already buckled in next to them. But the most terrifying details often come from what police find afterward. In some real roadside ambush cases, evidence suggests the attacker wasn't alone, that others were hidden, waiting in the tall grass by an exit ramp for the right moment, the right car. It's a coordinated and predatory tactic. The driver wasn't just in the wrong place at the wrong time. They drove right into a hunting ground. Now we're going to bring an encounter like that to life. What you are about to see is a cinematic recreation of the events of a night like that. The only sound is the low hum of the engine. For the last hour, my headlights have been the only thing out here, cutting a lonely path through a world of asphalt and shadows. The radio died an hour ago. It's just me, my thoughts, and the steady beat of the tires on the pavement. The whole world feels empty. That's when I see him. At first, he's just a shape on the edge of my high beams, a dark smudge where nothing should be. As I get closer, the shape becomes a man. Just standing there on the shoulder. His clothes are dark. He doesn't try to flag me down. My foot just comes off the gas. Every alarm bell in my head is screaming. This is wrong. Nobody just stands in the dark on a highway, miles from anywhere. I grip the steering wheel, my knuckles turning white, and I push the accelerator. The plan is simple. Get past him, don't look, and just keep going. But as my car pulls level with him, he moves. It's not a step, it's a lunge, a sudden, predatory burst of speed. He crosses the distance in a single heartbeat. I hear a sickening scrape against the passenger door, and then the handle wrenches down, and the realization hits me like a punch to the gut. I forgot to lock the doors. The door flies open, and the freezing night air rips through the car. He's inside before I can even scream, a storm of motion and cold dread. The car swerves wildly as I fight to keep it on the road. He shoves the door shut, and my car, my little bubble of safety, is suddenly a cage. In the faint glow of the dashboard, I see the glint of steel, a knife. He doesn't say a word. The blade, held low and steady, says it all. My mind is just white noise and terror. This is it. This is how I die. But then, a light. Far behind us, a pair of headlights crests the hill, growing bigger, brighter. It's a truck, a massive semi, barreling down this empty highway. Adrenaline cuts through the fear like a lightning bolt. It's my only chance. I slam my hand on the horn, a single desperate blaring cry in the night. My other hand flicks the high beams on and off, a frantic, panicked signal for help. The attacker flinches, his head snapping around to look at the approaching lights. For the first time, I see fear in his eyes. He wasn't counting on a witness. The truck is almost on top of us, its own horn bellowing back in answer. The man with the knife looks from the truck back to me, his face a mask of fury and indecision. Then he makes a choice. With a final snarled curse, he shoves me hard against the driver's side door, scrambles out, and disappears back into the same darkness he came from. I watch in the rearview mirror as he melts into the tall grass by the side of the road. The truck pulls up next to me, the driver leaning out his window, shouting, asking if I'm okay. I'm shaking so hard I can barely nod. I'm safe. But I'll never forget the image of that man disappearing back into the shadows, back to wherever and whoever was waiting. What you just saw was a dramatization, but it's based on the elements and terrifying details found in real documented cases of roadside attacks and ambushes. On the loneliest roads, you're often the only one who can save you. The driver's quick thinking is the only reason they got away. These kinds of encounters, from criminal ambushes to other strange and unsettling activity, are reported on our highways more often than you'd think. Highways have stories, and some of them are nightmares. If you have an encounter that still haunts you, tell us about it in the comments. Subscribe for more stories from the dark side of the road. And don't forget to lock your doors.